Hello. Today video will be about uh, reading books, right? Well, as in the title of this video, I will talk about reading books, and from the beginning, let's consider what reading a book is, right? Because this is simple, right? Just you open a book and you read, right? No. There are two kinds of reading a book. Two types of reading a book. First type is just reading. As described, as most common, just open and read. And this is all. But second type of reading a book, second type that I know two types. Maybe there are more, maybe not. Now, as for today, I know only two types of reading a book. So, first is of course reading a book. Second, what is second? Second is when you read a book and you read it with so much concentration. You concentrate on reading a book. So this can be described as deep work, right? You go deep, you focus, and then you read book. You see, now this is not just enjoying reading a book. Now this is work. This sounds, of course, terrific, right? Because you have to work while reading a book. Sorry, I had to cut this video, but let's go back. You focus on reading. You are in state on concentration, state of mind. You read it, and now this is work. This is not just reading, enjoying a book. This is now somehow learning. This can be described as learning because you concentrate and then you really learn. Of course, you can read normal book, right, like Lord of Rings or some kind of fantasy or any kind of book. Just read it and enjoy, and also learn from it, because he will die and you can apply somehow, change meanings. Of course, if he die, that means that he lose, and then the reason why he lose might be because he did something, and then you can learn not to do this thing, or some what it's called, this action, some similar action that he did. Just don't repeat it and do better. But I mean that this is not the learning that you think it is. This is learning. So, for example, you're reading a book. This is not an normal book. This is some kind of tutorial. If you're reading a tutorial to something, so for example, let's say the easiest, how to have a good sleep, and there will be steps. There will be steps, right? Steps, what you should do to have better sleep. And then you can just read this book from first to the last page. You have to read one chapter, think about it, apply it, right? So if you are reading any kind of book, this could be book about how to breathe properly, how to make money, how to manage your time in a proper way. This could be anything, but just let's say sleeping, because this is easy topic, so I don't have to overcome this topic too much. If you read a book about sleeping, about quality, how to get a quality sleep, then you don't just read it through and close and you don't know anything at all. Of course, if you do this, then you won't read as many books as you for month as you will do if you did this. But now you are making as much, you have as much efficiency as you can, because now if you read this book through in 1 week, you don't know anything. But if you read this book for 2 or 3 weeks, then you know how to have a good sleep. And the key here is not to read it for the more time. The key here is to, after one chapter, you think about the chapter and then you apply that chapter into your life. And you see now, this is not just a common reading. This is now reading and learning at the same time, and improving also your life. And then you will say, so when you say it, then that mean I can read normal books? Of course you can, but not when. When I can read normal books? For example, when you have free time. When you have free time, you can read normal books. But I want to maximize my efficiency. Then in your free time you do some improving and you will read your favorite book that you like, some kind of Harry Potter or something, when you go to sleep. And you say now, why then? Why when I go to sleep? Because when you read a book about sorry for that cut, but now the pop-ups take action. Why when you go to sleep? I will tell you. Because when you go to sleep, you don't want any self-improvement book to take your mind. Then you won't have a good sleep. If you go to sleep, if you go to sleep, you won't have a good sleep, because you will think, in night you will think about that topic that you read in this book. But if you for example read Harry Potter or some kind of fantasy, the fantasy is the best if you like it. If you don't, just go to sleep, right? But if you like some fantasy books or any kind of books, read it when you go to sleep, because now you will think in night, you will think about those things that happen in that book, in that chapter. And I don't know if you had that feeling, but when I played a lot of games, I went to sleep and I was thinking about what was going on in this book. And when I was thinking about it, I found it easier to just um, went straight to sleeping. And what should you do to have this feeling? Just read any chapter of your favorite book, and then when you go to sleep, you will think about the chapter, what happened, right? And then you will just turn off in some moment. You see, this is not even important because this is just fantasy, right? This is interesting, but this is not important, so you can just go off when you're sleeping. So that means this is good because you're just sleeping, thinking about something that happened in your book, that, for example, they fought, they were fighting, and you fell off. You imagine how they are fighting and you fell off. You are now sleeping, and of course it's easier to sleep when you think about something else than your life. So those are the best things I know right now from reading. And if you don't read yet, you should start, because this will help you change your life. At least try to read book. If you won't feel enjoyment from reading book before sleep, then you just can't go to sleep straight and don't even read anything. But if you don't want to read books, the second type of reading, you will be always behind everyone that read. So then if you don't want to miss out on life, you should read. That was everything I wanted to tell you. Take care and see you soon.